So don't make any changes.
Hey yo, wait for everybody to join us. I'm gonna try to find some tunes real quick. Man, you ever had one of them days? I think I'm having one of them days. But we ain't gonna let it stop us. Welcome to Live from the Bodega. I'm your host, Illa. Not sure if my guy Captain is joining us today. Don't looks like he's not because he would have beat me here. But we have some amazing guests joining us today, and we're gonna have an amazing show. So waiting for a couple more of the guests to pull up. Oh, I see Ernest in the crowd. Let me invite him. My check, my check. Did I get rugged?
We got you.
See, all right. I know I'm not tripping. Hey, friend. Welcome to Live from the Bodega. We're joined by by some amazing guests today. We got my guy Ernest Lee. We have Gucci. We have my guy Shaman or Shaman from Gen City Labs.
Nailed it.
We got is it Shaman
The real
or
last name
is
is Shaman. Most people go with Shaman.
okay? So we're gonna go with Shaman because I like that. I like the mysticism. And then we got my guy, probably Bored Dev behind the Happy Ape account, which is I love children's books. I thought I was gonna have a path in that world before I jumped into music. So love that they're joining us today. And yeah, we're just gonna kick it off, man. I was trying to find some dope music because that's how I like to get things started, but that's not gonna happen today. Maybe we'll end it off like that. But regardless, we're here. We're here to celebrate all these amazing builders. As an ape, I always say this: the thing that makes me the most proudest to be an ape. Well, there's a ton of things to be honest, but one of the things that makes me the proudest to be an ape is that we are definitely a community filled with builders. That's something to be super proud of, right? That's something I hang my hat on. I brag and boast about it, and that's what this space is about. Is like this is live from the bodega where we actually do a monthly space to amplify the amazing NBA builders that we actually amplify once a week on our Board Apiaco page. We meet once a month and we have everybody come up on stage because it's one thing to do a post, but it's another thing to actually do the Twitter space. Actually hear the voices, put a voice to the PFP, actually get to dive deeper into the journey of these amazing builders, and that's what this show is about, live from the bodega. So, as I said earlier, we have some amazing guests up here today, and maybe I'll have somebody from the Yuga team come up and join me. Maybe Mr. Eth wants to jump up, or Boris. I'll ping them in the background. But I'd love if everybody, if we just do like go around the horn, pass the mic, and everybody do an intro. Right next to me, we got Ernest Lee. So we'll start with Ernest, then we'll go to Gucci, we'll go to Shaman, and then we'll go to Board Dev and the Happy Eight. Ernest, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm doing great. I'm living the dream. Uh, Markets are doing some funky stuff today, so I haven't even got out of my pajamas. I'm sitting here trading. But yeah, um, we have an MBA license for our tax service, decrypted tax, and one for Combat Motors, where we build motorcycles.
Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to dive into to Combat Motors, man, because I checked out some of those bikes and woo, I didn't. Fire, bro. Absolutely fire. But before we dive in, let's keep passing the mic around the horn. I see next to Ernest on my screen at least, we got Gucci. Gucci, what's going on, brother? Appreciate all the fly gear. You already know. How you feeling today?
Good man, good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, despite the blood in the markets, hanging in there. Not the first time been through it, so just holding on tight with all that. Building regardless. So yeah, I got House OG. It's a apparel brand, NBA number 10,000. Um, and real passionate about that and working on that. So we'll talk about that later. But Ernest, dude, I'm a bike rider. I've got a bobber, a Harley that I had custom made, and I also drive sport bikes, Ducatis and stuff. So I might need to hit you up for a combat motor at some point.
We got a new one coming out next year. We got a new Hellcat coming out.
Sheesh, look at that. MBAs doing business together. That's what I love to see. I haven't I haven't jumped on a bike since I was a jit in Florida, man. Dirt bikes, but I saw some of those bikes that Ernest makes. I'm like, damn, am I gonna have to do this? Like, some things look sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Next on my screen is Shaman. Shaman, how you doing? Let's give a quick intro, and we all know what Gen City Labs is, so maybe they don't know who Shaman is. So just a quick intro if you can.
Yeah, I'm good, my man. I appreciate it. No, Gen City Labs. If you guys were at Ape Fest in Hong Kong, we helped build out the Ape Takeover experience. We are a creative technology studio, really kind of an agency building digital experiences for big brands. I'll dive into it in a little bit, and I'm the CEO and founder of it. And yeah, looking forward to having a chat today. Thanks for having me.
Amazing, amazing. Can't wait to dive into that experience of building out Ape Fest because that was one to remember, man. There was some dope, some the experience there was definitely one for the book. So, last but not least, Happy Ape. How you feeling today? I believe that's probably Board Dev behind there, or maybe I'm wrong. So, if you do a quick intro.
Yo, what's good? GM everybody. Yeah, this is Zero X Board Dev. My account is down below. So yeah, talking from the Happy Ape account here. Trying to get some more followers. So if you haven't followed yet, show me some love. MBA 394. Basically creating a brand to cultivate kindness, compassion, and positive mental health. And it starts with children's books. My Ape. I created a kid version of it, and yeah, we have one book I'm working on publishing soon, and then another one on the way to explain the blockchain, which is going to be super dope. And yeah, I just got approved for an AIP, so yeah, I'm working with IYK to produce NFC chips, and I got plushies coming out, so lots of stuff going on that I'm happy to talk about here.
Amazing, amazing, and a lot of stuff that we can't wait to hear. But first, my guy Cap popped up. Cap, what's going on, baby? I didn't know if you were gonna make it or not, so we got the ball moving, man.
Yeah, my bad. Appreciate you getting things rolling and interesting storms, little curveballs, but we're back in operation here, so I appreciate you kicking things off.
Of course, of course. You down here? I'm down here in Miami. There's some hurricane stuff going down. Well, it was going down. Today seems a lot better, but it was an interesting weekend. Blood on the markets, storming outside. we're not gonna even talk about what's going on in the political sphere and like the with over in the Middle East and all that. It's a lot, but we here to celebrate our builders. We had the round of intros. I think we're gonna, unless Cap wants to do an intro or has anything on his mind, we jump right in because I got some questions from my guy Ernest Lee about these bikes, man.
Let's do it. Let's get after it. I'm happy to be here at the Bodega and talking MBAs. This is the preferred topic of the day. So appreciate everyone.
Let's get it, Ernest, man. When I went on your page and I saw these bikes, I'm like, see, this is something that if you're out in the world and then you see the Ape branding and then you see these bikes and you put these two things together, this IP and these amazing custom built motorcycles, it's like that's my version of BAYC. It's edgy, it's sexy, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's all of those things. So what was the catalyst? What was your inspiration behind this MBA?
So,
And give us your background in building these amazing bikes. Because I know you for being an accountant, and then I saw this, and I'm like, oh shit, Ernest is cooking.
yeah, well, I own a few different businesses. I invest, and I invested in the company. This company, motorcycle company, had been around since 1991, and they were selling their brand and all their designs. They were going electric, and so they went off and did their electric thing. I took the brand, I rebranded as Combat Motors. I'm retired military myself. They had a little bit of an unfortunate name when I took them on. It was Confederate Motorcycles, and so I obviously rebranded. Combat Motors works for me because retired military. Some of the people who work with me are also former military, and so yeah, we've been building bikes in Birmingham, Alabama. But last year, September, we moved to Hurricane, Utah, and I'm loving it here. About 2 hours outside of Vegas, and moved my tax practice as well out here, doing taxes for people who have digital asset exposure. But I'm a lawyer by trade, so I do a little legal work too. So a little bit of everything.
Smart man. Like, who is there anybody that I know you probably don't like to name drop? I'm the same way, but anybody that we would know, anybody exciting that you've built a bike for, and how many bikes have you built at Combat Motors?
So Combat Motors has built, well, since the beginning, since 1991, the company had built about 2,500 motorcycles. I can identify the people who have been in public. So Tom Cruise had a bike. Brad Pitt had a bike. Nick Cage had a bike. But those are three that I can think of off the top of my head that have been in public with their motorcycles. So yeah, we've been building bikes that are ultra rare, ultra expensive. They're limited production bikes, not so much custom, but limited production. The bike that I have currently that we're finishing up the run on is a Combat Wraith, and it retails about 165,000. But we're coming out with this new Hellcat next year. Target MSRP is about 70,000, which is really hard to do all the work in the United States and keep the price down that low. But it was important for me to keep everything in the U.S. And so yeah, we're building them here in Utah, about 2 hours outside of Vegas. Loving it.
Ernest, are you incorporating the IP in any ways? Are there club discounts?
Nick,
yeah, so we're incorporating the IP in our marketing, and we're going to build some custom. So I shouldn't say custom. Some motorcycles that'll be identified as made by apes, and so we'll have some. We're gonna. I have a designer who's coming up with some really cool ideas, so I'm letting him run with it. I'm not gonna front run him on his design.
The club is going to get me to get a tattoo and maybe start riding bikes. I don't know. Probably. You mentioned these celebrities? I'm curious. Like, does any of them come in and like have no experience riding a bike, or are these people they've grown up on a bike and it's They're,
No,
they're
the ones I mentioned, they've grown up on bikes. I mean, we get buyers that buy the bikes just to display them. I've got a real estate developer does residential real estate in LA that bought two motorcycles and he stages them in his houses that he has for sale. Because if you go around all day long looking at high dollar houses and you've seen five with a piano in the living room, you remember the one that had that motorcycle in the living room. And so yeah, so some of them are display pieces, but we're trying to get more with the $70,000 Hellcat. I'm trying to get more riders, people who are riding their bike almost every day.
Yeah, that's what when I saw when I went on the page, it really jumped out at me. So when you say Tom Cruise and you say Brad Pitt and then you say there's the real estate developer that's putting staging him in these houses, that's what I felt when I saw these bikes. It was just like, oh, this is like a Porsche or something, like a 911 GT3 RS or something that I'm seeing, and it's being built by apes.
Yeah,
So super bullish on this,
yeah, they're
man.
really cool to see
Super.
in photos, but you got to see one in person. Let me tell you. And we're going to be at the event in LA this weekend on Friday night at the fucking Friday event, and then yeah, if you're in LA, man, you gotta come out and look.
Yeah, next time I'm out there, I'll definitely DM you so I can pull up to the shop
All
and
right,
make sure I get some in front like I'm riding one of these bad boys, man. Like amazing, amazing. And we'll make sure, Ernest, man, we're gonna make sure we circle back to you
sure.
um before the end of the show to see so you can let the folks know what they should keep a lookout for. Next on my screen, we got my guy Gucci, House OG. Man, it was great meeting you in Miami, and House OG was trying to give me one of these fly ass jackets, and I'm like, bro, I'm really more low key. I was like, but I will bother the hell out of you for my Hawaiian shirt, and I got that thing, and it will be on deck at 8 Fest, man. So, what was your journey like into fashion? Is this something you've always done, or is this something that you were like, all right, I got my Made by 8 business. Let me go ahead and do a fashion line, something that I've always wanted to do, or is this something that's been like something that you've always been into?
Yeah, well, I've been playing in fashion like, since I was a kid. My mom like would make clothing and, get us involved in the process of like picking out designs and patterns. And then when I was in law school, I started a t-shirt clothing hoodie brand. I bought a silk screen press, like a five header, put it in my garage, played around with it then. And then fast forward to 2021, when phygital stuff was just starting to like be experimented with. I dropped a collection in collaboration with a fashion house in Manhattan. um, it was like a one-off six-piece collection that um, were like museum quality pieces, like from fashion designers. I 3D made 3D twins of them and shipped the physicals, and had it so you can display the high res um, 3D renderings of these things, because like some of these pieces you would keep in like acid free paper, like archived. So there's a way to um to do authenticity and display digitally. So, but that was like a one off. But I got to learn how to incorporate the phygital side to fashion then. And then as I got deeper into the yacht club, I just had this. I just wanted to create something that I could keep creating with, as opposed to just this like one-off collection. So using the Web3 culture, most specifically like the ape culture, I thought was a great idea to launch this House OG brand. um, Also, my closet was full of hoodies, and like I was like, all right, we need some gear that's a little bit higher end apparel, stuff that takes a little bit more time to put together. I saw a niche in that like sector of more thoughtful clothing. So yeah, I got to work on House OG. This month will be a year since House OG came into existence. I've done 6 drops. The most recent drop is live right now. It's a summer collection. But yeah, that first drop was a Hawaiian shirt that you got your hands on. And one cool thing I like to incorporate into some of my drops, like that Hawaiian shirt, for example, it's the M2 attribute from the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. But what I did was I incorporated these like things that we like about collecting NFTs into the physicals. So when you bought a Hawaiian M2 shirt from House OG, you didn't know what rarity you would get. Some had different. They all had different buttons. They all had different um, embroidery. They all had all these different elements to it. So like when you got that physical in the mail and you opened it up, you don't know if you had a common one with like wood buttons or a legendary one with vintage Gucci buttons and embroidery. So I liked playing into that psychology that we like to see, or like we like to do in collecting, and moving that to the physical. So yeah, coming up on a year, and um, getting ready for year 2 with my 8. That's gonna pull some IP from that guy.
Love it, man. Go ahead,
I would
Cap.
say I love how you're incorporating the rarity into your collections and tying into the traits. What I don't want to get too far ahead, but I would love to talk a little bit about this fashion show and happy hour you have planned for Ape Fest, because the other thing that I love about your brand is how you're working with and feel like incorporating so many others in the space. And I think the event you're doing at Ape Fest is no different. So we can certainly come back to talking about this drop and everything else you've got going on. But do you mind touching base on this fashion show and happy hour at Ape Fest?
Yes, would love to. Yeah, this is where my head's at right now, is pulling off this event. So the event's called, it's a House OG Happy Hour Fashion and Art Show. It's the 2 hours leading up to the 8 Fest kickoff party on that Friday. And the idea is get like everybody together for like a meetup pre-party before we go to the 8 Fest event. And while we're there hanging out at the happy hour, I'm taking submissions right now from community members. So if you're creative, you don't have to have an MBA, but if you're creative, like hit me up. So basically, there's going to be 5 to 10 fashion pieces that are created by community members, and 5 to 10 canvas pieces by artists, and they'll be on display, at the event, and we're gonna have giveaways, and it'll be a fun little way to bring us all together with like something creative to kind of anchor it. And the theme of the art show, fashion show, is attributes IRL. So and like reimagined attributes from the Board Ape Yacht Club or the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So like in my uh in my flyer here in this pinned tweet, you see my mutant measuring up my ape and turning that Hawaiian shirt into a puffer jacket. So that might be a foreshadow of what House OG submitting for the art show, but that's the idea. It's like create a create a painting of like you know, reimagining the collection or attributes from it, or create a physical clothing piece inspired by some of the attributes. And like I said, you can have an MBA in fashion, or you could just be, new to the club and want to, flex your creative muscle. There's a submission form online on my website, and submit your idea, and let's get you in on this art show.
Bill, are you going to be in the? You gonna hit the catwalk?
Yeah, man. If I think my next ape is gonna definitely be Hawaiian shirt. I don't know the fur yet, but I just love fucking Hawaiian shirts, man. So he said Hawaiian puffer, possibly. Am I hearing that correct? Like, or is that like I don't want to, like I like to be like audacious sometimes. I know I'm low key, but I feel like if it's a Hawaiian puffer, I might have to put that on. You know.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, you gotta see it in person and tell me what you think. But yeah, dude. Speaking on the Hawaiian shirt, so I'm from Fort Lauderdale, so I'm a South Florida native, born and raised.
Let's go.
Yeah, so like, I know your cheetah game, Illa, but cheetah's got that. A cheetah is the Caribbean, the southern kind of big cat. The Hawaiian shirt represents the islands and the beaches, and like Hawaiian and cheetah. That's that mix for that South Florida vibe.
Come on, man. Broward, Dade County, baby. You know what it is, man.
You
Like,
already know.
let's go. You already know. We gonna circle back to my guy Gucci, man. We gonna hear more about this puffer because I would love to get that in the hand of like some emerging artists or some big artists so they can so they can motherfucking flex. Maybe we get them on a combat motorcycle with the puffer, and we outside with it for real. Like what the fuck they talking about? You can't stop NBA and apes, man. Cap, I'm about to start really like trying to connect some dots in the entertainment space with our apes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really on that mission. I'm really on that mission. If I can get a handful of apes connected into the entertainment industry and put some money in their pockets, then I feel like I would accomplish something really, really, truly, truly special, man, for the club.
I love it. I love it. Music and fashion. I never thought I would be even adjacent to this world, but here we are. I did pin up a few other posts up top. When you get some time, go give those some love. If you are want to submit for that fashion show, that's up top. If you're going out to Fuck It Friday, that the post on that is in the Combat Motors one up top as well. That they quote tweeted from Fuck It Friday. And then last but not least, um, if you are going, the one that opens up from Gucci, if you are going to Ape Fest, bookmark this tweet. The board in Ape Creator House, there's 8 community events. That is where the art show will be, and in that thread, there's an opportunity to buy a pre-bundle kit that it includes. It's a hat from House of OG. Is that right, Gucci?
Yeah, I'm doing a limited run, 4 different colorways in rarity embroidered hats. Only way to get them is if you support the Creator House. And a quick plug on that ticket, yeah, you get the hat and then you get free food and drinks and access. So
And get all that stuff and support the Creator House. And one of the things I'm really looking forward to at Ape Fest. But Illa, who's up next?
Up next, we got my guy, the shaman, the mystical, magical shaman from 10 City Labs, man. The chef, man. Shaman, what was your experience like at 8 Fest,
Oh
man?
man, it was awesome. It's funny. A quick background on me. I started an agency called Helios Interactive back in 2008, right? So I've been in the event space doing digital activations for a long time. And then, quick background, we got bought in 2017 by a big company called Freeman. Anybody who's ever worked in the event space has run into Freeman. They do all of the labor and garbage cans and trucks and all sorts of stuff. And then I fell in love with Web3 and, got my ape in 21 and, actually helped start a project called Non-Fungible Heroes. If you guys know NFH, which still is running one of our communities and also an ape and also a Made by Ape agency, is now creating comic brand at Non-Fungible Heroes. But all throughout that, BAYC has kind of been the anchor for me. And uh, for Ape Fest in particular, we built an experience similar to a lot of stuff that we build for brands, at stadiums. We do a lot of work for brands at the Olympics right now. We're actually doing a lot of work with Nike, helping them build out their stores. If you guys are in Seoul, Korea, or Singapore, or Toronto, or Mexico City, you've probably seen a bunch of our work because we build out big digital activations. That's screens, that's content, that's general experiences. So really, really amazing opportunity in Hong Kong to be able to work with Yuga to help create the Ape Takeover. If you guys were in the space, you probably saw a giant screen, lots of tickers with messages on them, little flipboards. The team had a vision for people to be able to submit their ape to take over the club. out there, and so we built all the back end. We're on site for installing, handle all the screens and all the rest. Working with their partner Jack Morton to help create that experience. So awesome, really serious. I know it's super cliche, but like dream come true to be able to work with Yuga because uh, just inspiring to be able to work with a brand that kind of got me into the space. Um, so that's great, and we have a few tricks up our sleeve for Lisbon as well. So pay attention to what's coming.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's great to actually, have you up on this space because I always hear Gen City Labs internally at Yuga, and Cap. Today's space is like, I know we have a bunch of great spaces, but today is like super power creative space, bro. Like the bikes that go to Top Cruise, my guy Gucci with the fly ass merch that even I was hounding him down. And when I got my Hawaiian shirt, my fiance is like, "Why are you so hype about it?" I'm like, "Man, you see this shirt? This shit is gas!" Like, and then I find out he from South Florida, so that's my dog for life for now. And then Shaman, man, like amazing work with that the thing the experience you created at Ape Fest with apes that can get to go in and get your name, and you with the little flipping, what's that thing called, the
They're Vesta boards, the little flip boards. Yeah, those are fun.
flipboard. Yeah, I was like, bro, this shit feels like the Matrix or some shit, and it was so futuristic and so cool and so creative. Like, how long does something like that take to build?
Man, typically we've got like 8 to 12 weeks. That's a fairly standard time frame for us. We don't always get that much time, and we work in the event space, right? Like the events, we do retail work as well, but events is probably 75, 80% of our business. So it's very standard for us to get, you know, not a lot of time. But yeah, that one I think we were working with the team for about 8 weeks. They had the concept a lot earlier, but really, bringing that to life with everything else that's happening, especially out at, the terminal in Hong Kong, which is a challenge in and of itself, was tough. And we're just getting started kicking off Lisbon now. There's some really, really, really cool concepts that we're going to be helping bring to life. I think, what are we, 8 weeks out about? So right in the sweet spot.
Illa, to your earlier point, and this is no disrespect to any of our other builders whatsoever. It just this group is one that where while they are building with or leaning into the IP, even Happy Ape with the book, I feel like all four of these are businesses and brands that are successful inside or outside of the club, and the fact that they're choosing to build here, the like in one way or another, all four of these are value adds to this ecosystem. And so it's kind of an unlock I had this morning talking to Jason, NFT Hoarder. And there's so many individuals. Like I am very familiar with what Shaman did for Hong Kong. Very cool. I didn't really connect those dots until just now. And it's just like the amount of value added builders in this space that have had tremendous success and continue to do so in and outside of Web3. It really is just another reminder. Grateful to be here, and yeah, congrats on everything you built, Shaman.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to say one more thing. What's really cool about the MBA ecosystem, it's not always going to get recognized by the general public, right? But man, when I'm on the phone, we do work if you guys are in Atlanta and get to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we've got a big footprint in there that we built out for Mercedes-Benz. One of our Mercedes-Benz clients I'm on a conference call with a couple months back, and he sees my ape because I use it as my when you have cameras off on a Zoom or Google Meet. And he sees that and he's like, "Hey, are you part of BAYC?" And it's like, "Yeah, we're actually a Made by Apes company." And so it does two things for me. One, if they are in Web3, it provides domain expertise and says, you know what you're doing, right? Which is kind of a and just an automatic intro. B, if anybody is in the club or knows of those in the club, it's like an immediate secret society. It's been really unique, really interesting. It's really for sure helped our business just by virtue of the name recognition. So it's not always brand forward. type of stuff. And I know there's a ton of consumer packaged goods folks from, ape water and jerky and cannabis products and everything else that are using it really is kind of the core brand. But if any of you guys are out there working, and we're a services company, right? So you don't immediately think of how that connection can be made. But man, just self-identifying on a conference call with brands, with senior leaders, with other executives, and getting that recognition is super powerful, and it's been a really big positive for us. So wanted to fire all that out there for you, just because it's just been a super beneficial experience for our organization.
Has there been any downside? I'm going to guess no, but has anyone? Oh my gosh, you're part of those scam NFTs. We're not going to work with you. I'm going to guess that hasn't happened.
No, it really hasn't. Or if it has, they haven't said it to my face. Like, I don't think it's cost us any business, I guess. Certainly, you get the occasional jokes about value or about some article they read. But no, honestly, it's been like 9 out of 10 people I interact with have a positive mindset and kind of positive perception about the brand, and in general about Web3 overall. Like, I think it's more curiosity than negativity, except, as you get into the gaming space, you've got some conflict still, and it's still fairly controversial in the gaming universe.
I
Man, you could be LeBron James or play a game, and there's gonna be fucking 15-year-olds calling you a piece of shit and going off on you. Go ahead, Cap. My bad.
No, I think you're really nailing on something here, though. Like I feel my experience has been very similar. You get outside of this space, maybe outside of gaming, there's a lot more curiosity. There's a lot of interest, a lot of very good questions asked about crypto and Web3. It's I feel overly skewed in terms of the negative perceptions in this space amongst the critics. I have not experienced any sort of vitriol whatsoever as it relates to NFTs and Web3 outside of Web3 when you're having these types of conversations. And salute that you're extending the brand into other industries and leading that curiosity of others, that who knows where maybe nothing comes from it. I think, to your point, if they're in the space, it's the deal's closed. And I think the questions and the curiosity that you're inspiring, I think there's long term we'll see big benefits from what you're doing, as well as others out there doing similar.
Yeah, and it's definitely helped us close business. Last year with Nissan, we helped them build out the Heisman House tour. If you guys are college football fans, you've probably seen the Heisman House, where they have all the former Heisman Trophy winners on commercials. We helped them drop an NFT on Solana last year, right? Now, one of the reasons for that was, I mentioned earlier, domain expertise. You're an MBA company. You know the space. That kind of verifies and validates you as having knowledge, not just paying lip service to, yeah, I could do that, which a lot of agencies do. And so that in turn has led to us playing a bigger role in that campaign and with Nissan overall. It's kind of an interesting entry point, whether it's a Web3 project or not. And we've done Web3 projects for Intel. I know the bike guys. We helped Ducati, do some stuff on Ripple. I will say Ducati is not the, I don't know if they've actually continued the program or not, because they cut us a little while back. But, as brands explore, as brands are interested, it gives us a path there. And if not, like I said, there's recognition, and it's really interesting, and it's been great.
I think whoever's behind the Board Ape account, and I see Baron in the crowd, if we can go back and clip that whole segment where Shaman was talking about he was on the phone with the Mercedes Benz guy and he asked if he had an ape. If we can clip that, that would be amazing, because Shaman is up here cooking like he's a Michelin star chef. And I love the fact that we have amazing ambassadors such as yourself onboarding people, and you're like the first person they run into when they're thinking about Web3 and they see an ape, and it's somebody who they're about to do like like some super next level business act and experiential activation with, and you're rocking an ape, man. Like, that's powerful, super
Always
powerful.
rocking the ape.
The ape stays on, baby. come back to monkey, like Gordon would say. Just hey man, come back to monkey. Yes, it was a it was a bloody day yesterday. What was green? Whoo, Basie, baby. Basie was green. That's what was green. Come back to monkey. Last but not least on my screen, Kat, before you got here, I was saying like I had like a fork in the road in my life when I had my daughter. I was still doing music, and for some reason I'm like I was watching Yo Gabba Gabba. This is before Miss Rachel and all that. If you got kids, you already know what I'm talking about. Like the Yo Gabba Gabba to Miss Rachel arc, and now there's Bippy or something. Like once you have a kid, you know all of the sauce. Minions, like literally. So you know all of the kids shows and content because that's your babysitter while you're trying to do your work and you're watching and you have your infant. So I was like, man, I'm making beats. I'm like, I wonder if I should write a children's book because I'm watching Yo Gabba Gabba and I'm like, I know I could write a children's book. So when I saw Happy Ape, I was so excited, and I bet people were like, "Yo, Illa the Big, why is he so excited about this?" Because I understand the value of children's content, and I love that there's an ape that's thinking the same way, and you partner with some of my favorite artists, and you guys have created this amazing another like because apes are about storytelling. So and you guys really took that and made that your MBA and your brand. So I'm super bullish about the Happy Ape. What was your journey into making the Happy Ape? Was it like mine where you're watching kid content and you're like, I should do an MBA and jump into that, or has this always been a dream of yours?
Yeah, no, it was never fully a dream. But I think it was towards the end of last year where there was a lot of like kind of FUD on the timeline, and like everybody was like, "Oh, what's Yuga gonna do for me, or BAYC gonna do for me?" And it was like they gave us the superpower of Web3 IP, right? And then I've seen so many MBAs that I had admired over the years, and I had always wanted to do something with an MBA. I just never knew what. And it was just at the end of last year, I had acquired this ape through a trade, and it has the colorful suspenders, the big smile, really aesthetic. Like I just really vibed with it. I had to have it, and I got it. And um, it was just one day I was like, man, what could I do with my ape where I could build IP around, and it just seemed happy. And I was like, what if I did the happy ape? And actually my wife, she's a stay-at-home mother. I have three kids, and she went to college for writing, journalism, all of that. And she writes. She's always wanted to create a children's book or a book in general. And I was like, man, I could definitely do something around IP for my ape where I created maybe like a childlike version, and she could write these books because she's so good at it. And I asked her, and she's like, yeah, I would love to. And we started just like riffing on ideas, and I started laying out all these plans. And 2024 rolls around, and I have like this huge, I mean, like I have all these pages of things just filled out, like everything that I want to achieve, whether it's like small goals or like big goals that may not even be attainable, to be honest. But I just wrote them down because if I get there, I get there. If not, hey, I have all these other little goals. And so far this year, I've just been hitting each one where, my wife wrote the first book, and it actually includes IP from four different communities: bored apes, pudgy penguins, bears on the block, and moonbirds. And I have IP in there from all these collections, and that's something I want to do. Is all these books that I have planned include IP from other collections. I've got to meet so many people in this space, and the ones that I'm using their IP, they've all been like super grateful. They're like, oh, I love this. I can show this book that my IP's in it, something I'm proud of. And I really want to provide that for others. That's just like one aspect of the Happy Ape, is to grow together. And the brand is all about kindness, compassion, positive mental health, and that starts with children. That's something that when you have kids, things change tremendously in your life. And I just want my kids to grow up and be kind to others. That's how I was raised. You know, you're not better than anybody else. Like, show compassion, show kindness. Um, and that's what we need to see more of, I think, in my opinion. So in this space, like being able to connect with families and, you know, everybody outside of Web3, being able to build a character that builds value in children, I think is would be amazing, right? And I hope to do that with the Happy Ape through these published books. And then also, you know, there's plushies. I hope to have animated videos, clothing. There's so many different things I have planned, but it's, you know, just building one thing after another, right? Just little by little getting to that, you know, end goal.
I love that you're already beyond the book. You're actually building a brand, a Happy Ape brand around a children's book. And I'm glad you went to incorporating the other communities, because that's one of the things that immediately jumped out to me was, yes, you're building with your ape IP, but it's not just your ape IP. And, you know, I saw you'd licensed a couple Pudgy Penguins, and you mentioned, you know, the Moonbirds and the others. Like, that to me, like, this is Web3. And the like the community support you're going to get is going to be the Web3 community support, not just the support from the club. And when we talk about working with others and pushing the space forward, I'd love for you to talk about what you're doing with IYK, whatever you're comfortable sharing, because this is one of the things, like, you don't, there's probably not a whole lot of connected books or smart books out there, or whatever you want to genre you want to put this into. But I know personally, I'll be benefiting, and anyone actually that's working with IYK, due to the efforts that you're putting in with the team to get it launched to where we'll be able to mint on Ape Chain. But is there anything on that you're able to speak about, or is that still, is that the unshared alpha?
Um, no, I can definitely talk to it. And, you know, coming from my background is in tech, and I've been a software engineer, software architect for many years now. And, you know, building a brand, of course, I want to have some type of tech included. I mean, we're talking about the blockchain, right? So, like, this is the revolution, and this is, you know, what's going to be supporting the future, I honestly believe. So, um, honestly, the timing was just like perfect, because I was searching for, you know, something that I could embed into the physical product. So I have these physical products, but how do I tie it back to Web3, blockchain? How do I do that? And I just started, like, you know, kind of researching, trying to get ideas. And I had seen some stuff done with, you know, NFC chips. And I know they've been around for a while, but I saw IYK and what they were doing and ordered a sample. They sent me some tags. And when I went through their site, they just had the easiest to use site that allowed you to basically mint an NFT on various blockchains and then tie that to a chip, which then links right to your physical item. So I'm like, wow, this is like so easy to do. And Ape Chain was rolling around, you know, it, and I'm like, I got to use Ape Chain. I mean, you have to, right? It's a no brainer. So I was like, IYK, I have an Ape AIP coming out. I was like, I want Ape Chain to be selectable, not just for me, for everybody. And I was like, could this be possible? And they were like, it's EVM compatible. I'm like, yes. They're like 100%. So I'm like, if I get my AIP passed, I want to see, like, I want to see it as a selectable item for everybody. And they're like, we'll do that 100%. So as soon as Ape Chain goes live, you know, IYK and I were going to be working to make sure that is selectable for everybody. And when you're using IYK, if you're getting NFC chips, it doesn't matter who you are, anybody, right? We see 9DCC, like G Money, he's using it for you know, his fashion brand. Like, they could switch to ApeChain if they wanted. They can mint something on ApeChain. Like, it's going to be available for anybody using IYK to power their chips. And I think that's super awesome moving forward. I think we're going to see a lot of MBAs using ApeChain, NFC chips, and this is just another way for the community, like yourself with Board Shorts, like, to be able to use this product and support your MBA. It's going to be so powerful, I think.
Appreciate
Love
you.
it, man. Oh, go ahead, Cap.
No, I was just saying thanks. Go ahead and feel free to get in here. But no, I do appreciate all the work you're doing to build out not just a thoughtful Happy Ape brand and experience around all that you're doing, but keeping the ape ecosystem in mind as you're doing it, and the Web3 community at large. It's not went unnoticed.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope to really like grow this community together, and I think that's the way forward. Honestly, like it's going to be together, and we're all here for the same reason. And yeah, I think it's going to be super powerful once it all comes together and everybody sees what I'm really building.
And I think that's, I don't want to be harsh to anybody, especially if we're talking about children's books, but it's going to be a big middle finger to all these haters when all these different amazing IPs pop from this space. Because you got to realize there was tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 projects that came in 2021, 2022 and promised this IP and all these experiences and games and all this nonsense. But it was only like five, I think there's 5 to 6 brands right now. Us, Doodles, Azuki, Pudgy Penguins, Moonbirds. Um, yeah, I'm stuck on who else, but that are really proliferating IP, and the IP is actually going places. And I love the fact that you took the time and made the effort to include these other IPs in your project, in your experience, in your books, because it's amazing that this IP is actually gonna touch kids, and they're seeing characters that were birthed in a space that's very young, that some people really don't think has that much promise, and they always look down at IP, and it's like, well, you seem to look down on it because you don't know what to do with it. And I get it. If you don't understand something, then you may talk negatively about it. But at the end of the day, this whole space, our entire space, most people don't understand. I'm talking about the crypto space. So you shouldn't be a naysayer if you're participating every single day in the space, in my opinion. So I love that I love what you're doing. We support it internally and externally in the community. And I want to go around the horn. I'll start with the Happy Ape. What do you have coming that we should keep a lookout for? You may have touched on it already, but is there anything else you want, folks? Because I have a hard stop at 3 cap to jump to another meeting. But I just want to give everybody a moment to go around the horn and let the folks listening know what they're working on.
Yeah, the biggest thing will be my first book that I'm hoping to publish soon, which would include all those IPs, Kindness at the Park. And then after that, I already have another book that I have written. I just Jacopo is the artist that did the first book. He's going to work with me on the second book. Amazing artist in our community, love him. Huge shout out. He's going to be starting illustrations for that book, and that book is going to be so special. I can't wait to talk about it because it's going to be the book that every ape is going to want to read to their kids if they have kids. It's going to be amazing. So I can't wait to talk about that one later on. And then plushies. I hope to have that at Ape Fest. It'll be my first one. So excited to be at Ape Fest and have these products there. So that's my goal.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Curious George better watch out for his market share because Happy Ape is here, baby. We cooking. We cooking. Next is oh, I hope I didn't forget Doodles. Doodles is fucking cooking with their IP right now. Like I hope I didn't forget to mention them. Love what they're doing. Let's go to Shaman. Shaman is on my screen. He's next up, man. And Shaman,
Yeah,
man, what
got
do you got
we
coming up? I know it's a lot.
boy, we do have some fun stuff. We do some work with the NFL, some various teams. So we've got activations rolling out for. Oh man, I think we got something for the Detroit Lions. We are continuing our Mercedes-Benz Stadium experience. I already mentioned Ape Fest Lisbon, so that might be the one that everybody gets exposure to the soonest. Man, we're doing Nike stores. We're actually doing a lot of random Nike stores in the Middle East with like Alexandria, Egypt, and Nakheel in Saudi Arabia, and a bunch of other random stuff. So depending on where you are in the world, you may run into some of our work. You probably won't see our name bandied about too much because we are in the background a little bit. But no, we've got a ton of stuff coming up. We're growing. Oh, and actually, do keep in mind if you guys are out in any college football games and you see a footprint for Nissan, keep an eye out for your friendly neighborhood Gen City Labs folks because we will be a part of the tour again. So That and then a whole bunch more. Got a lot of stuff coming up, but no, appreciate you guys having me today. By the way, thanks very much.
Cat, we may have to do like a live from the bodega um, recap or rerun and tap back in with these guests in 6 months, all our apes to see how they're doing, right? Because I'm excited to see what Gen City Labs is up to, bro. Like, yo, Gen City Labs, man. I'm gonna be on y'all page every day, just trying to. I'm gonna be in your DMs. Hey, man, what you cooking on? Because I love this, man. I know it's like it's we got to work with the small brands as well as the big brands, but I love that there's an ape that's working with these huge established legacy brands. And if he's on a Zoom and the cameras is off, they see that ape. Shaman, we got to get you a better background color. Besides that, brother, man, you're a
Army
fucking
Green is where it's at, my man.
damn it, bro. Like, I wish we had him on an orange or something, but or aqua even. I don't want to get jumped in the comments, but he's repping that Army Green. He's the Army Green champ. So RFDZ, it's a tie between y'all two because RFDZ is the head meme for the Army Green. So let's get to my guy Gucci. Gucci, what's going on? What do you have coming up that we should be on the lookout for? Besides that amazing puffer jacket, what do you got cooking, brother?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'm putting the next months of work into this event for 8 Fest. So if you're going to be at 8 Fest, it's on the calendar. It's on the BAYC main calendar. So y'all will be there. I'm actually going to Lisbon 6 weeks early. September 13th, I fly out just to I don't know, work from Lisbon, see what life is like living in Lisbon. Also want to hunt down some good, some local DJs for some of the events at the Creative House. Maybe find some models to rock some of this gear. I don't know, but see us in Lisbon. House OG happy hour, fashion and art show is going to be off the chain, and then keep up with House OG. Check the website houseog.xyz. Every drop I do, there's a piece or two that's really limited because I want to appeal to the collectors too. So the summer drops live. Fall, I got some cool shit. I'm working on that right now, and yeah, just follow along and looking forward to what's to come.
Amazing, amazing, man. Make sure y'all tap in with my guy Gucci, the House OG, the happy hour. He said it's gonna be models and bottles, baby. My type of party. My type of party. That's right, Cap. Don't give me that look. I'm a South Florida boy. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? I think Cap from Florida too. He just ain't letting on. And my guy Ernest, man, combat mode. Ernest, I think I may have thrown you a nice alley oop. I was so impressed by the story and so impressed by the craftsmanship. I sent it to somebody very special, very very special, and he was blown the fuck away. And he said he might be pulling up on you at the Ape event this Friday. So just
That,
know that reference came from your boy. So when it's time for my bike, I
yep,
need a little discount. So
for
go ahead
sure,
and
for sure.
let us know what you got cooking, brother.
So yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, with the new bike that we got coming out next year, the Hellcat, we're going to be doing a lot of marketing, and I have some really good ideas for some cross branding with the Ape, and then we've been in I don't know, a dozen movies, three Fast and Furious movies in background bikes. Transformers: The Last Night was actually Mohawk, and Transformers: The Last Night was our bike. And then so we always have our hat in the ring for jobs like that, and we have some stuff coming up. It's gonna be fun.
Man, you see, that was one of my questions that I didn't get to ask. Like, has this bike been in any movies? Because there's so many actors that have been riding it, and you just dropped the bombs. Like, oh
Yep.
shit, Fast and Furious and Transformers. Like, man,
Yeah, the
amazing.
Transformers was really cool, but I was disappointed is that Bumblebee blew his head off, the Decepticon that was Mohawk. So unless they, I don't know, sometime working into the storyline that they super glue that dude back together, I don't think we're going to be in another Transformers movie. So it is what it is.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get. There was multiple motorcycles and transformers. I think they better come back to combat motorcycles. I mean that Wraith, that bike speaks for itself. That thing is beautiful, man. Like the craftsmanship. Like, so I'm telling you, Cap, this has been one of my favorites NBA spaces. I know I'm gonna be like 5 minutes late to my next meeting because I got to give all you guys your flowers.
I'm
Much,
blown away, Ella.
Ernest, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, man, and we got last but not least, we got our my guy Ape Express. Coco's on here, one of my favorite NBA builders, one of my favorite shit coiners, my trench warrior brother, and Ape Chain. I know all of us are bullets on Ape Chain, so Coco and Ape Express were in the request, so I had to bring him up. See what's going on with my brother, man. How you feeling?
What's happening, bro? What's happening, bro? I'm just out here. I mean, Ace, we're ready to go. Like the shit's built. We got it ready to go. We've been in the trenches. I've been in the trenches just trying to really kind of up my social capital so that when we do get to launch, um, I can move a lot of those people and port them over to ApeChain. So if you see me on the timeline acting like a maniac for my other account, you know, it's all about the attention economy, right? So I've just been going hard meme coining, hard shit coining. But we have some really cool tools that everyone's gonna like. And another thing, I need everyone to follow this account, man. I'm trying to get over 1,000 followers. Come on. I look through the crowd. There's a bunch of people not following us, man. This is an 8-chain native product. Everyone give us a follow, man. We're at like 840 or something. I'm trying to get over 1,000. I just wanted to tap in and say what's up to everybody. I mean, I know a bunch of the builders on here, all great dudes. I'm really excited for the future of Ape Chain, BAYC, everything. I think we've honestly endured the worst, and I think our time is coming. So yeah, man, I'm just excited, stoked, happy to bring some cool shit to the ecosystem.
Yeah, before the space started, I think there was like 80 people that RSVP'd. It was at the peak, it was like 148 people in here, and that's because we were cooking with heat. We were cooking with lava in here. There were the builders that showed up today exemplified this program. You know what I mean? They're amazing ambassadors. Every builder that we have, like once a month, all amazing ambassadors. But it really, really, really feels like, and I'm not blowing no smoke here. It really feels like we have crossed that chasm. There's momentum, right? Days like yesterday when everything's bleeding and we're green, and you know what I mean. We don't have a token on the horizon. It just we have more builders and we just see opportunity on the horizon for this club and for the people who weathered the storm. And I feel like everyone that weathered the storm deserves it tenfold, man, because we did it. In my eyes, I don't. It's not a victory lap yet, but to me, I feel like hopefully the worst is behind us, when it comes to our space. I don't know what outside of our space, you know, we got to give it to God. You know what I mean, or Buddha, or whoever you believe in, and is a higher power. There's forces outside of our space that we can't control, but inside of our space, we can control this, and we can have each other's back, and we can support each other as builders, and that's literally the foundation of this space, and of our space and of this Twitter space. Cap, I'm gonna let you give the sign off, man. I gotta jump to this other meeting, and we'll see you guys next month. Love all y'all, man.
Appreciate you, Illa. Appreciate all of our guest speakers today. I'll just double tap everything Illa said. It is not only have we weathered the storm in terms of making it through, downturns in the market, it's businesses take time to build. And the club's only been around for a few years. The NBA formal program's only been around for a little over a year. Like this stuff has been in some cases months in the making, in other cases years in the making, and in some, like I don't want to speak for Ernest, but like a lifetime in the making. Like the relationships he's built and the brands he's built. Like this is stuff he's been working on far before the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And when you hear Ernest tell a story, when you hear Shaman tell the story, and like this is how we, in my opinion, just my opinion, but from one club member's opinion, this is how we onboard the next generations of members of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, is leaders like this being proud of the club, bringing it up in conversation, whether it's a big Web2, big publicly traded brand, or it's a famous celebrity or entertainer, or just someone that's reading their kid a children's book. I think these touch points, this is how we proliferate not just the brand, but the culture of
Board Ape Yacht Club and the quality of individuals that are representing the brand. It makes me, I mean, I've been a proud member since Mint, and that hasn't changed, but continuing to hear the stories and the background of other leaders in the club that really are, movers and shakers in the real world, have had tremendous success. And as I said earlier, I think any of these four guests today, they're likely successful, whether an MBA brand or not. And while I certainly would like to think that all of them can realize some benefits of this community and the network effects and some economies here, it really is, I think we're grateful to have them. We're grateful to have them in the club, for all the knowledge and wisdom, networks, everything that they can add in terms of value add, but also to be building their respective brands inside this ecosystem. It's like I do truly believe this is how we onboard, the next generation. It's one by one through these thoughtful conversations and respected individuals like these four guests we had today, being out there, being proud of this brand and leading with it. So again, thank you all. I truly appreciate all the time today, everyone who tuned in, all of our special guests. I certainly appreciate your time and willingness to share. I don't know if the Board Ape account has any music queued up over there or not. I can maybe play us out. As we do, take a look at all the posts up above, and I'll stall for like another 20 seconds. If you haven't given all of our speakers a follow, do that now. Especially that Ape Express account. We got to get them over 1K here. That should be a layup.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Yeah. By the way, just before we go, like anybody that holds a Yuga asset, like I've basically built it into the platform that you get free shit. So from anybody that's creating coins on Ape Express. So yeah, I looked after the apes with this one.
Good looking out. And it really is where Coco's out there providing utility for holders, onboarding others that are in the DGen streets into the ape ecosystem. Then we've got, Gucita and Ernest and Shaman who are onboarding both in real life and in Web3. The perceptions, I think, of the club from non-club members inside of Web3 and non-club members not in Web3, I think is so vastly different. I've been thinking this, but it was kind of an unlock on this show today, is because I've had those experiences. Like I've never had anyone like turn up their nose. In fact, most are inquisitive, and we know big brands are reaching out to, whether it's Yuga, Board Ape Yacht Club, advisors in this space. Like there's certainly a level of interest there. And for every DraftKings that decides to shut down a Rainmakers product, I believe there's probably 10 other really curious brands and organizations that are exploring how they can start experimenting in this space, because I feel we've reached the point of inevitability. Now it's just a matter of how and when, and it takes these thoughtful leaders like we had on stage today to help onboard the masses, because it won't be, I don't think it'll be millions at a time. Rather, it's you never know when one of these Zoom meetings, Shaman's on with one of these major brands, and they start talking, they see the ape, they start talking Web3, and the next thing you know, that major brand is launching a Web3 loyalty program that all started with a Zoom meeting that wasn't, he's not like out there selling them. He's just, it's creating curiosity. And that's another word that I think it was Shaman shared that probably will stick in my repertoire, at least for the foreseeable future. But really enjoyed the show. I enjoy all the space every month. Today was one that I truly meant it. Like I am kind of blown away. Like while I've spoke to and know all these leaders, I really wasn't fully aware of all that they're doing with their MBA brands, as well as all their successes in real life. And it just further continues to confirm that this is the greatest club in the world, and very grateful to be here. So thank you all today. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and tune in to At the Clubhouse this Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe, 2 p.m. Eastern Friday here. Check it out. It'll hit the official account. If I'm wrong, they'll correct me, but we'll talk to y'all then. Looking forward to Ape Fest. Hit that Creator House link up above. Get yourself that bundle. Get that House of OG hat and support another group of great builders out there putting on an incredible side event at Ape Fest. Thank you all. Really appreciate your time, and we will see y'all next week.
Better leave it to the professionals. Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living the dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes. I'm telling you, I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up. Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Car era lore. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue.
There's also an AIP roundup space going on right now. If you're looking for another space, go check that out.
I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck started is a off with a bit. Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living the dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes. I'm telling you, I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking, you think